Yes! It's only February, and already we've reached my number one most anticipated film of 2023 Cocaine Bear! Based on true events that took place in North Georgia. Hey, that's close to where I live. Please don't dox me. The story is about a load of cocaine that gets tossed out of a drug smuggler's plane over the Georgia mountains, and a wild bear that found and tore into over 70 pounds of that cocaine. That's where the connections to real life end, though, as this movie is a what-if story about if the cocaine caused the bear to go on a rampage. I have been so excited for this film ever since I first heard of it and saw the trailer. And it is such a fantastic idea for a movie. Y'all, I think this was my Phantom Menace moment. Pretty sure I'm in the minority here, but I was very let down by this. Maybe it's because I set my expectations so high. But I can tell you a few reasons I was disappointed. First off, the cocaine bear is barely in the movie. Every scene that it has is shown in the trailer already. For about, I'd say, 70% of the movie, it's mostly just the human characters dawdling through the woods, going through pretty boring storylines that the cocaine bear just happens to show up in every now and then. There's really two main stories going on. One is about a little girl getting taken away by the cocaine bear, and the other is about the drug traffickers trying to get the cocaine back. My girlfriend said it, and I'm inclined to agree that one of these stories should have been cut, and it's probably the one with the kids. That way they could have put more time toward violent comedy with the cocaine bear terrorizing the drug traffickers. Because that's what I want from this. Not Han Solo being sad about his wife or something. As it is, those characters don't even know the cocaine bear exists until about halfway through the movie or later, which I see as a serious flaw. Another thing is that the movie overall is very low energy. I mean, I like a nice relaxed stroll through the woods, but this is called Cocaine Bear. It should be off the wall energetic and full of physical comedy. The bear attacks in this don't usually feel like anything that wouldn't happen in any other movie with a bear. I was expecting some very fast-paced, violent slapstick, but most of the violence is pretty slow. On top of that, the characters don't give very big reactions either. Sure, they scream sometimes, but the majority of their reactions are very subdued. There's a mom looking for her daughter, and she seems mildly worried about the fact that she was dragged away by a cocaine bear, and that she and her friend did cocaine. Yeah, that's a thing that happens in this. Two children do cocaine, and all it amounts to is a lukewarm, "Y'all don't do drugs, kids, your parents will find out." All of the actors give serviceable performances, when they should be given much more to work with. Ray Liotta does fine in one of his final performances before his passing, but they didn't allow him to do more. I will say I'm only really familiar with him for that one joke in B movie, so if that invalidates my entire review for you, I get it. But to me, it just feels like they wasted good talent from actors like him, Kerry Russell, or, goodness gracious, character actress Margot Martindale. My guess as to why there were so many flaws with this film is because it was directed by a woman.
What?
I mean, I'm not being sexist. I mean this woman specifically, Elizabeth Banks. Her only two full films before this are Pitch Perfect 2 and Charlie's Angels. Also, the writer, Jimmy Warden's only credit prior to this was The Babysitter Killer Queen. Now, I've never seen any of these movies, but they don't seem to me like the kind that lead up to Cocaine Bear in one's career. It stinks, because Phil Lord and Chris Miller produced this, and they're two of my favorite filmmakers. I think if they had their hands in the directing or writing, we could have gotten something closer to the quality of The Lego Movie or Clone High. But the thing is, I think Banks and Warden had the potential to make something with that quality, because that quality exists in the ambulance scene. Take every criticism I've made against this film, and just know that it does not apply to the ambulance scene. And take everything I said I wanted, fast-paced violent slapstick and big reactions, and know that they are present in the ambulance scene. If the rest of the film felt like this one scene, it would have been about near perfect. So if the concept alone is enough to interest you and you don't mind a mostly relaxed comedy, I'd say go ahead and see it. But if you're mostly here for a more intense horror comedy, I'd wait for streaming and maybe just skip to this one scene.
Well, those were just my thoughts after watching this movie. What'd y'all think? Agree? Disagree? Think I'm stupid? Let me know in the comments. And let me know what you think of this movie. As for me, I say cocaine bear, more like coke mid bear. I'm really sad.